Is it working? We're going. What is going on, guys, and welcome to a very special video today. And today on the Mr. WWE Cam channel, finally have an upload. I haven't been doing Raw reviews. Don't even know whether I've done an Extreme Rules review. I've been so busy, GCSE exam time, and just have not got around to it. So I apologise. I've been trying to tweet when I've been watching the shows on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter at Mr. FIFA Cam. I know it says FIFA in the title, but I very rarely tweet about FIFA, to be honest. I do tweet a little bit about football, but WWE as well. So yeah, follow me on there if you want to see what I'm feeling about the show. But the brand split's happened, and I feel like I haven't spoke about it. We've got the brand extension coming back. If you want to hear my thoughts on the brand extension, well, we'll do that. We'll do that now. This will be a short video. My next video will be where I have a look at, basically I fantasy book my draft, basically how I want it to go, how I think it should go, and how it more than likely won't go. And then if you like that and you want to see me with the brands, with the rosters that I've created, with the SmackDown, with the Raw, book it and tell you what I'd do if I had to book it. We can do extra episodes and make it into a little series, but entirely up to you guys and how much you enjoy it, or as the case may possibly be, not enjoy it. But yeah, we're going to talk about the brand extension. For me personally, I'm a little bit sceptical on it for a few reasons. One being, I'm just not sure whether it's the right time. I think the roster has the talent. I just don't think necessarily it's been booked in a good enough way for a brand extension to work successfully. And what I mean by that is, there is enough good wrestlers, but the characters they currently have, or the gimmicks that they currently have, aren't good enough really to carry a show. I don't think there's enough good mid-carders, enough top talent to split it in half. You know, it feels like only a few months ago we were running out of superstars. I'm being deadly serious there. We were running out of superstars to main event stuff. Now all of a sudden we're splitting the roster in half. You know, it seems a little bit risky, to say the least. And again, you look at the injury crisis that we've had this year. You know, if that was to happen when we had this brand extension, if you look on Raw and SmackDown, if two of the top SmackDown stars were to get injured, it would be so depleted, the show would be horrendous. There would not be big enough talent, big enough names and characters. And it takes time to build new talent. It really does. So yeah, that's what's concerning me a little bit, is if we have injuries crop up again, how depleted the rosters could be. Without injuries, and if talent is booked better than what it has been, and they're trying to recover Rusev and etc, etc, it should and it could work. There's enough talent there for it to work. It's just whether the talent has got the right character and is developed as characters enough, and people are invested in the characters enough for it to work right this second. You've then got the issue with the one title. For me personally, there has to be two main titles. There has to be the World Heavyweight Championship brought back in the WWE Championship. That has to happen. Each show has to have their big card championship. You can't make the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship the big titles on each show, and then have a World Championship as the one in the middle, because it then eliminates the whole mid card. So that's a problem. Another problem is, what do you do with the Divas? Do you create another title? No, for me, Divas, and I'll talk a little bit more about this on my fantasy draft, or whatever you want to call it. For me, you need one title. There's not enough talent. There's enough talent, but there's not enough superstars, not enough depth to the roster to have two titles in the Divas division. The other problem is, are they going to make Raw, you know, the main show again, the big show, and the lesser talent on SmackDown, which will make it a B+ show, and again won't entice people to watch SmackDown. You know, they can get this right. The problem is, with Raw being 3 hours as well, if half the roster is on SmackDown and it can't be used for Raw, what are you going to fill Raw up with for 3 hours? I feel like if the brand extension comes back, Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. And I don't know how easy that is to do, and whether that's even in discussion, because I just don't understand how you're going to fill 3 hours with only half the roster. It's hard enough now to fill Raw for 3 hours. Now, it is going to create unique matches. The problem with the brand extension for me is, as well, is you limit yourself to a certain amount of feuds, which once recycled, it can get a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring. The advantages, though, for the draft, is its uncertainty. Who's going to go here? Who's going to go there? There are new feuds originally. It gives, if we create another couple of titles, like if we bring back the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship, there's more likelihood for people that wouldn't have got so close to the World Heavyweight Championship as it is now with the one title that may actually get their hands on or get opportunities at the World Championship if there's two, if you see what I'm saying by that. So, you know, there's positives and there's negatives. You've got to look at why did it not work in 2011 and what's changed, and has stuff changed enough for it to now to work. A lot of things have got to go well for it to work, in my opinion. I don't think it'll fall flat on its face, although I'm not as hyped and thrilled as some people are. I've never been a massive, oh yeah, bring the brand extension back. I've never been that much of a vocal guy to say bring it back. So I don't feel like I'm being hypocritical coming on here and being quite harsh about it. I know what you're going to say with talent-wise, we'll bring up some people from NXT. Well, then you've got the problem of you're leaving NXT depleted. One of the best shows, one of the best wrestling shows out there at the moment. You take 3-4 main guys from there. Let's say you take Joe, you take Balor, you take Nakamura. That show then is limited. That then needs another year or so to get to where it is again. And will NXT ever get back to the momentum it has if they lose all them stars? Which you feel like they're going to kind of have to lose so that there's enough talent to do this brand extension. So that's obviously a concern for NXT fans and for WWE as a whole. Do they feel like they've got enough talent there who's perhaps not being on TV regularly enough on NXT? And are they going to use these next couple of months before the brand extension, which is in July the 19th, so it's not in 2 months now, to create some new stars quite quickly? It'll be interesting to see. Whether WWE go elsewhere and sign new people, you feel like they're going to have to. They're going to have to go out and sign more people again. I mean, they've done it earlier on in the year. Carl Anderson, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Austin Aries. They're going to have to go out and do it again. Nakamura. They're going to have to go out and do it again because they're going to need more talent for NXT if a lot of people come up from NXT. So yeah, you know, there's question marks. I mean, this video probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm not going to be really negative on it. I'm going to allow WWE to see what they do with it. At the moment, it feels like they don't know what they're doing themselves. It was quite clear on Raw on the opening segment, which was terrible, by the way, that no one really knew what was happening to the brand extension yet. It was just an idea that they've said, yeah, they've publicly shared it, and now they've thought, shit, we haven't actually thought this one through, have we? Typical WWE. Anyway, I'll be back probably tomorrow for another video on the draft and my fantasy pick. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to call the video. But make sure you leave your thoughts on the draft down in the comments below. Are you excited? As I say, I'm going to give it its chance. I'm not going to be negative on it right from the start. Although, don't be surprised if it's a complete and utter fuck up. That's all I'm going to say. Or they make Raw by far the better show and every good talent is on Raw and the shitter ones are on SmackDown and SmackDown's just a waste of time. But don't be surprised either way. Thanks for watching. That's it for this video. Sorry, it's pretty short, but I'll see you next time. Goodbye. I mean, that was just overly sexual. So for that, I apologise.